Yeah.
Forget the rest.
How y'all feeling?
You're rocking with the best radio station on the planet. SDM Live Unplugged.
Welcome to Student Enrollment. I'm your host, Brother Khalif. Today's topic is going to be, what are you willing to give up? So when I say give up, like you got a choice. You got a choice of whether you're going to keep doing what you want to do or you're going to get what you want to get. Like, let's say something like weight. Like, you going to eat sugar or you going to give up sugar and lose weight. Life is kind of like that in what we're going to give up. And we got to learn to get out our own way a lot. We got to learn to give up foolishness. It's like when I started my journey to becoming more intelligent, becoming more smart or smarter, I had to give up entertainment. So if we are wanting to be better, it's certain things we got to give up. So what you willing to give up? Like if you want to be married, you're going to have to give up being a bachelor. I mean, that's kind of it. Or not, depending on the situation you have with your mate, your social contract or whatnot. But if you're going to find her, you guys like leave the girls, leave the hoes alone, really. Because you can't find a wife in that. And nothing wrong with, hoes or whatnot. It is what it is. It's no right or wrong situation. It's more of like, what are you going to pick? What are you willing to give up? What kind of mind state are you willing to give up? A lot of times in order to progress, you're going to have to give up the way you think about something. And that's hard because you've been thinking about something for like 20, 30 years. Like, why would you? A lot of people can't give up meat. It's better to eat a plant-based diet, but you can't give it up. Like, you stuck with it. It took me forever to give up cheese. Like, I could not do it. I tried to do vegan for a little bit, but the biggest hurdle for me was cheese. I'm like, nah, I can't do vegan. I can give up everything else but cheese because I love cheese so much. Just love it so much. And then I finally gave it up for like the month of December a couple years ago, and I don't really need cheese like that no more. But I couldn't imagine living like that because I would never give it up. I would never give it up, and that's what we got to do. Like I said, again, it's like to progress forward. If you want, I'm becoming more fit, so I have to give up being lazy. That's pretty much it. Like, you got to give up not working out, and you will find a way to rationalize everything. That's why it's really important for you to give up the thing instead of just placing it on hold. Like not drinking pop and giving up pop are totally different. You're like, I'm not gonna drink pop. So now it's the temptation involved in it, and you created a temptation because you didn't give it up. So now it's like, man, I wish I had this. Man, I wish I had that. Instead of like, it's not even an option. Like, for me, it's not even an option right now. Like, pop is not an option. So I can't be like, oh, I wish I had some pop. And juice is just as bad as pop sometimes. So you're going to have to give that up too. And go like with a smoothie or something like that. With like no sugar, but a smoothie. But it's just really just giving it up. It really... but the most thing, like I said, the most important thing is that mind state. Like, it's really, really hard to give that up because I've learned that you can give something up mentally, but you won't give it up with your habits. So when you, let's just take the weight thing. Like, you got bad habits. So you can't lose weight that way because you got bad habits. You're eating all the wrong foods. But in your mind, you know what right foods to make. You know what right foods to choose, and you make in those mind. You in your mind, you're making that choice. You're going like, okay, you need to eat this, this, and that, but your habits don't reflect your mind. So a lot of times we get caught up in that to where you think, oh, I'm so much better than this. Like, why can't I? Because your habits. You can't succeed because your habits. You haven't given up your habits. You might have given up a mind state, but you might haven't given up the habits. So you have to practice, like in reality. You know, a lot of times people just work on their mind. And when you work on your mind and you don't work on your habits, you do something called cognitive dissonance, to where you can see faults in others, but you can't see it in yourself because you assume you can do it. Because we don't hold each other to cognitive dissonance. We don't hold each other accountable. You're not holding yourself accountable, basically. And because you're not holding yourself accountable, it can't work. It just can't work. It just can't. You have to give it up. It's like I'm doing this podcast. This is episode 3. Like I had to give up holding this stuff in. Like I had to give up not doing it. Like I've been wanting to do this for years and years, but I held on to some type of mind state, and I just didn't. I said, I'll do it later. Then I finally started recording myself, but I wouldn't push it out. And then I like told myself, for real, I'm gonna do this. And I ran into a guy. I was looking up online the podcast spaces, and I was doing the applications or whatnot, but people wouldn't get back to me until I ran into this guy in real life. And my wife was doing a pop-up shop here, and I seen a couple of chairs and a TV. I'm like, I probably could do a podcast right there. Like, I'm like, hey, you rent that space? And he was like, no, but I actually got a podcast space. And I was like, that's crazy. Like, so when you really want to do something, if you like really, really want to do something, people waiting to help you. Like the guy was waiting to help me. I just never took that step. So you got to give up stagnant behavior. You got to give up safety because you out there risking it. People willing to help you. They waiting to help you. But you got to go do something. Because it's like, you ever notice if your car is you ever notice if your car is stopped and you sit in the car, no people just pass you by. But if you stuck in that car and you start pushing that thing, people will help you push. They waiting on you to do something. Like I seen it happen. Like my car broke down a couple of times. I start pushing, and then next thing I know, it's 4 or 5 people pushing. But if you stay in that car and don't do nothing, nothing gonna happen because momentum attracts momentum. And not just even just leaving the house is momentum. Like not even talking to girls, but going to the bar creates a momentum. Like once you have a positive momentum, put yourself in the right spaces, you can actually do what you need to do. But we don't do that. What we do is we make up these imaginary scenarios on why you can't do it, or we make up the scenario of a important decision that this got to be, and we got to keep studying. We searching for enlightenment, but we really need empowerment. Like most people aren't empowered. Like they stay in their situation and they understand the situation totally. I'm in this bad relationship because blah, 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 but they're not empowered to leave. Like, just leave if it's that bad. But you don't want to give that up. You have to give up the bad too. Just thinking about that. Like, who willing to give up the bad parts of something? We always trying to make good out of everything. But that's not gonna work. We got to we're supposed to settle on the best part. Sometimes the best part of something is bad. Like sometimes the best part of somebody is they're an asshole. Like that's the best part of them. But we always looking for something else instead of just um, making the reality check or dealing with the reality that this is the best that this person can do and living with that. So now we can deal with that. Once you realize a dog is a dog, you can deal with that. I'm like, yeah. Once you realize a snake is a snake, you can deal with that. But when you keep trying to make a snake a horse and wonder why you always getting bit and why you always getting poisoned because you tried to make it something it's not. We gotta live in reality. And I know we want things to be what we want them to be, but they won't. Things are what they are. So yeah, I've been taking notes on my podcast. I did 2, and I'm like, okay, I'm talking a little low, so I'm trying to be more more engaging, and I'm trying to be more inspirational because what I'm trying to do is I want this to be about people, but especially men. Like I want to see other men win. Like we other men support each other. We so competitive. Well, we taught to be competitive, but it's so much that can get done with cooperation with each other. We can still be competitive, but we cooperative. It's like a team where I do my thing, you do your thing, but we work together. So it's a competition, but at the same time, it's competitiveness. We ain't really taught how to cooperate as men. You see the rap game and everybody trying to be the best. Who the best is? You see the sports, who the best that? But like, they don't got to be the best. Like, people really doing that now. It's like, you got the Brooklyn Nets just creating super teams, Lakers super teams, and even though LeBron was creating them super teams anyway, but why not use the resources around you? Why not set yourself up to win? And they was hating on him. They're like, he needed this and that to win. Like that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to stack the deck in your favor. That's what someone smart would do. Why make it hard? You got to give up that mentality of, I got to struggle through this. Like, you don't. Get help. Give up. You don't have to do it. You're not alone. If, I didn't have a whole podcast set up. And I was struggling with the fact that I'm like, what do I want here? What do I want there? What do I want everywhere? And I'm like, I'm going to just give that up and go rent a place. It's so much easier. I don't have to think about nothing but what I got on. And it frees up so much more mental space so I can think of topics more. It's just giving up that ego, really. Can you give that up? If somebody say you treating them bad and you're not really listening, you like, I'm not treating you bad. Can you give up your mind state and say, okay, what is it you really asking? Like, you got to, it's this, I don't know if it's Buddhist or not, but I believe it's Buddhist. When it was a master, he was talking about a cup, and it was empty, and he poured the cup till it was full, and he said, "That's your knowledge." And then he poured some more, and it was overflowing. And your knowledge, if that's what you think, if your cup is overflowing, you can never let anything else in. So you have to empty your cup to get new knowledge. And that's hard for a lot of us to do. Emptying the cup. Can you empty your cup? Can you take like, okay, what is this person saying to me? Or how do I qualify to how do I qualify to get the most out of this situation? Because you not giving stuff up. We got to give up so much. Especially if you want greatness, like you got to give up so much time. You know, it's like some people, like if you want to be like at the bottom, you don't want to work on yourself, and if you want $1,000 a week, you're gonna have to work 80 hours a week. I mean, it is what it is. If you can have it, but you're gonna have to give that up. You know, people want $1 million, but what they don't want to do is give up the time it takes. And it's a lot of mentalities I started to give up. Like, I wanted to all the money. So I'm like, I need to do all of the work myself. So I'm doing all of the work myself. I'm getting all of the money working, basically. But you can get more time if you rent it to someone else. What I mean that is, like, if I have a contract, if I have two contracts worth $500, and I do them both, and they each take 10 hours. So now I'm 20 hours out. I'm done. But I can't do nothing but go back to sleep and start again. But then if I have two contracts for $500 and I do the first contract myself and sell the contract to somebody else and just take 50% of it, I'll get less money, but I'll gain more time. And that's what we got to look at. You know, I forget who wrote this. I don't know where I read it, but they said Rockefeller. I think it was Rockefeller. He said you can't make money working all day. And you got to give up that security to get freedom. And that's tough. That's tough. You got to give up security to get freedom in your relationship. You know, you don't be wanting to say stuff, but you're going to have to give up that security for freedom. Because when you avoid an external conflict, you start an internal conflict. I'm saying that again. When you avoid an external conflict, you start an internal conflict. So, can't be a people pleaser because it don't work. I mean, you damage yourself so much, and nobody gonna take care of you but you. Like, it is, you born alone and you die alone. So I'm not saying be selfish, but at the same time, you got to put you first, because nobody gonna put you above them. That's against human nature. The only times that happens in instances of love, but that's rare. You know, if you have that, you have that. If you don't, you don't. But it's rare for that to happen. So you got to give up that security to get that freedom. And are you willing to do that? Like, being an entrepreneur, you got to give up security. You know, just so much. You know, if you want to be free, you're going to have to give up, be vulnerable. That's hard. Because you're going to have to give up being quiet. You're going to have to give up not being seen, not being heard. You're going to have to fight. You're going to have to fight. And that's hard. But it's also harder not fight. So you get to choose your hard. You can be hard. You can work hard and struggle, or you can work hard and win. Choose your hard. You can work hard and work out every day, or you can work hard and eat all day. Choose your hard. It's hard being out of shape, because I was in shape pretty good, you know. But it's hard. Not being able to run as fast as you can, not being able to, your reflexes to get, not being able for your reflexes to be right the way you want them. I think I'm rambling a little bit this time, but I'm gonna learn to stay on track. But like I said, it's 20 minutes in, and that was super fast to me this time. I think it's the I'm adapting. No, not adapting. I'm adopting. I grow, you grow culture here. As I grow, you grow. That's how it's gonna be. I'm gonna go over some of the stuff that goes on in my daily life or weekly life or whenever I decide to record this. And I'm gonna grow. And in places I'm gonna grow, I'm gonna teach what I know so you can grow. When I was really thinking about giving up, mentality like what you're willing to give up. So it's two ways people usually are. It's, do you do what you want to do, or do you do what's best for you? And it don't take a rocket scientist to know what's best for you, but you just do what you want to do. It's really another take on what you're willing to give up. Like, can you do what's best for your body? People would know. You'd be cut. You wouldn't have no fat on you. They didn't. It wouldn't. It wouldn't take a fool to realize that you're doing what's best for your body. But if you're 400 pounds, you're doing what's not best for your body. And I know we have a body positivity situation going on where it's hard to tell the truth. But I mean, it is what it is. Facts are facts. So we can't really dwell on that. But what's the best thing? Like, people can tell when you in your relationship, and like if y'all look happy, they be like, okay, y'all doing what's best for y'all relationship. And if y'all look miserable, you're doing what y'all want to do. Everybody doing what they want to do in that relationship. You gotta be like, okay, maybe the way I approach this, I gotta approach this in the best way to where it minimizes conflict, and that's what's best for the relationship. But if you don't want to do that because your ego be like, I ain't gonna give up, and she go like she ain't gonna give up, y'all gonna be miserable. Somebody got to do what's best, and then it's better when both of y'all do what's best. We both got to do what's best for the relationship. That's when you don't got to worry about nothing. You don't, because when you down, she gonna do what's best, and when she down, you gonna do what's best. But that's hard to do because we don't do that kind of thing. We don't do what's best for each other. We do what we want to do. And also, we don't have really good examples, or we don't have really good communities to where we can learn. But that's what the manosphere and red pill, like, it's like where men can learn how to be men. Like, don't get me wrong, it's a little bit too much sometimes, because you end up doing you got to be careful not to become the thing you hate. And a lot of times where, like I said, I want to see men win. And a lot of times men get done wrong, so they want to be the person who's doing the wrong, so they don't get done wrong. So you take a victim mentality and you reverse it into a bully mentality, just so you don't ever feel bullied. But that's not what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to be in the middle, so where you're not bullied, but you're not being a victim either. And that's where we all should try to be. Like, don't take nothing. Don't get me wrong. Stand for nothing, but don't take nothing. There you go. That's pretty much what it is. So again, how do you know what's best for you? Because like, I was thinking about between 1865 and the 1920s, black people started 50 banks, and they had no education. They just did what was best for them. But somehow along the line, we got way more information, way more access to way more knowledge, and we can't do nothing because everybody want to do what they want to do. And I don't think that's going to help us in any fashion at all, because we're not doing what's best. We don't have a code. But let's just keep it personal, though. Let's take it out the macro and push it back to the micro. So can you do what's best for you? What do you want out of life? You want money. Do you want happiness? Do you want companionship? Do you want better health? Do you want what you only got so many levels you can get to. You got a physical level, you got a mental level, you got an economic level, and a spiritual level. So those are the only areas you really can improve in. So do you want a better mental? Do you want a better physical? Do you want a better economic? Do you want a better mental? I mean, you do. Well, we all should. So what do you do to get a better mental? You study. That's the best thing you can do. You study. If you want better physical, the best thing you can do is eat well and work out. If you want better economics, the best thing you can do is learn how to trade. Learn how to take a little bit and multiply it and make it a lot. And if you want a better, what's that? Physical, mental, spiritual. Spiritual, you gotta study the spirit. If you want a better spiritual, you gotta get in that whatever science, sacred science you into. Whether that's Bible, Quran, or whatever, you gotta get into that. You gotta get into that. So you gotta make the better decision, the best decision, but we don't want to. I'll start Monday. That's not the best decision you can make. It's Monday right now, and people thinking about I'll start next Monday. You gotta start right now. Be great today. That's the best decision you can make. Be great today. Plan, and then tonight, plan how you're going to be great the next day. And then the next day. Yeah. Yes, sir. Okay. You come in the door? It should be. It's open. It's open. Okay, stay going through those doors and stay on the right. Yeah. You see an open door? And make one more right again. And make another right in the closed door. Yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. You enjoy? Go ahead and sit down. Yo, so, welcome to the podcast. You gotta put your headphones on. Right? You gonna test the headphones?
Oh, testing. Yeah, I can hear myself.
Can you hear
Oh,
the
pull it
microphone?
close. Okay. Can the people hear me? Yes, sir. Right. Oh, cool.
Okay.
That's what's up, man.
How you feeling?
So what you talking about on here?
The camera up there.
Where?
Right there.
Oh, okay. All right.
You looking at
All
the
right,
TV?
man. Let's get it, man. Let's get it.
All right. Halfway through episode number 3, Student Enrollment Podcast. It's your host Khalif and
DeMarcus. One second. My bad. Wasn't prepared. All right.
okay. Sell this shit. No, legit, right?
All right. Man, this what's up, man. So what's good, man? What's the topic, man? Man, people got to excuse me. I've been doing a lot of work today. A lot of work. I usually would shave, keep it nice and clean.
That's cool. You ain't got to worry about that,
Busy
man.
and out of town.
Yeah, working, man.
Okay.
So,
Go ahead with you.
So we talking about I talked about earlier, what you willing to give up in order to get what you want. I was saying that, like, if you want wealth, like, are you willing to give up poverty?
Dang.
You know, because
Yeah.
a lot of us not. We love to struggle,
Okay.
and you want to do things.
Well,
go ahead.
You said a lot of us don't want to give up poverty.
It's a mind state.
Okay. I kind of get what you're saying. All right.
It's like,
but not knowingly, they don't want to give up poverty. You don't think?
I think you want to.
Yeah.
But your habits don't reflect that. So because your habits don't reflect that, you can't give it up. So you can have all the business talk you want, but if every day you're going to work.
Okay. Yeah.
You know, if every day you don't go sell your product.
Yeah.
Every day you don't go.
They comfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they so comfortable that they're willing to be poor. Or I'm saying they, but us, we sometimes.
Poor. I met I didn't say I met, but I heard a saying, passing over opportunity repeatedly. And I think a lot of times when you poor, you got the opportunity.
Yeah.
You just don't do it. Like,
yeah, that's true.
You just don't do it.
Yeah.
You wait for another one, and then you wait for another one, and then you wait for another one. You know, you be like that girl. Why can't no girl? Why can't I find no good dude?
Right.
You had like 10 dudes, and you passed over them.
Right.
Well, same with girls. How come I can't meet no girls? You don't never go out. You keep passing over the opportunity to go out.
Okay.
So poverty is like a mindset. It's just a low vibrational.
Yeah, that's real.
And you won't give that up. You got to give it up. It's like for instance, you get to have freedom or security. Can't have both.
When you said that, I was thinking about slavery. And I always thought about that, like being a slave, how you would be freedom. You would get freedom, but you have to deal with the elements and not having shelter for a minute, at least for a while. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, like that's like the first thing that would have probably came to my mind as a, like, or most slaves' mind probably would have been, okay, I'm gonna have to live in the forest or something for a minute, but I want freedom. You're gonna have to want it that bad that you're willing to live in the
wilderness.
Yeah, in the wild for a minute. You know what I'm saying?
Create your own structure.
Yeah, and it's funny because I always heard the saying of Harriet Tubman saying, I freed 1,000 slaves, and I would have freed 1,000 more, but they didn't know they were slaves. Some people, it's like, I don't even know if I would say, well, she was right, because that was her experience. But on top of that, I would say this. Some people might know that they slaves, but just like you just said, they didn't want to go through what they had to go through. You know what I'm saying? Like, they didn't really see it as that bad. And some people see probably poverty as not so bad. Yeah. You know, compared to, it's funny because I know what you used to hear all the time when you would mention about being rich or something, people would be like, yeah, but rich people got to pay a lot of taxes. You know what I'm saying? Or yeah, rich people, man, you know, a lot of them, man, they sell their soul. They in the Illuminati. You know what I'm saying? It's like they would, you know, it's always the excuse of why you should not be that next thing. You know what I'm saying? Why you shouldn't, you know, get out of there, you know?
So when you said slaves, and I do think a lot of them wanted to be free. So mentally they would dream, but they wouldn't run away.
Right.
So, but every day you would say, I'm gonna run away.
Yeah.
But you just don't physically do it. So that's what I was talking about with habits. You know, I think a lot of people want, but they just won't run away.
Okay.
They want it.
Yeah.
They do. I feel like a lot of people want freedom. They just won't run from the security.
Yeah.
And you're going to be stuck. So you're going to be thinking, you want it. You're like, oh, I want freedom. Oh, I want freedom. Like a guy at the job today, he's like, man, I hate being here. I said, the door open. Oh. I'm like, you said you hate being here. He's like, yeah. I'm like, the doors are open. I can't just go through. I'm like, you said you hate being here.
Well,
you won't leave.
That's, yeah. You got to steal away, like the most honorable Elijah Muhammad said. We got to steal away. But see, it's funny because some people won't even steal away. You know what I'm saying? It's like they so caught in the rat race of things that they don't even want to plan away. And when I say they, I'm not judging nobody because that been me before. That's why I was like, I'm talking to kind of like my old self. Like I'm thinking like it's been times where all I was trying to do was just make it through the week.
Make rent.
Yeah. And that's when you know you live in.
Pay bills.
Yeah, it's like if you really think about it, it's no point in you even ever going to work. There's no point in you going to work if all you're going to do is pay your bills, go home and eat, have somewhere to sleep, do it again, then have a weekend.
My wife was, she was talking, that's funny because my wife was, she talking about opening a wellness center. And she looking at some places. One of them, the rent was $700. She was like, we got to at least make $700. I said, no, you got to at least make $2,100. She like, why? I said, because we doing 3 times as much. Like, when you set that goal to at least break even, that's what you're going to do. You set that goal to do way more. So every month, it's not a struggle. Like, people used to pick the struggle.
Yeah.
Used to doing just enough. Like, no. Do way more than enough.
Yeah.
So it's not hard.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't have that stress of every, like we get to 2,100, we ain't worried about nothing.
Right.
You get to 650, oh, I just got to get $50 more. And then you stop working because you reached your goal.
Yeah, yeah.
You reached your goal. Why stop? I mean, why keep going? So you got to really like kind of trick yourself or give up the struggle mindset.
Yeah.
You know, you need more money than you can spend.
Yeah. It's funny because me personally, I've recently gave up the struggle mindset in a way. It's a man on I don't want to plug him too hard, man, but this is one.
Ain't nobody watching right now.
Oh, okay. All right, it's whatever, man. It don't matter. Dave Ramsey, you ever heard of him?
No.
Man, this is a white dude. And he always be talking about how Americans is already rich. You know what I'm saying? It's just that, or he say it's no excuse for you not to be rich at a certain age if you live in America. Because technically these jobs pay a lot, but it's just most Americans is so concerned with the new car. They so concerned with looking the nicest, living in this extravagant place that, just like you just said, it's like a lavish struggle. They pick, they struggling, but they look nice. You know what I'm saying? I've decided in my life, you know what? I don't struggle. And I look nice, but I'm saying I don't struggle, but I may not have the newest car, or I may not have the most comfortable, biggest, lavish place. But I have a place, I have a car. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not even willing to give up an average place and an average car for 1 second if that means that I have to go back to struggling like I was. Because at some point, I had the nicest car. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just not willing, especially in Michigan, to pay that crazy insurance and that, you know what I'm saying, and that crazy car note. I'm not going to do it. You know what I'm saying? And I see the light at the end of the tunnel faster than I ever seen it before. You know me, more than I ever seen it before. But shoot, man.
I just think that when you focus on wealth. You focus on creation.
Yeah.
So when you when poor people, they focus on money, so they lose money. Rich people, they focus on things, so they lose things. And wealthy people focus on ideas, so they're always creating. You don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
And I don't like. I wouldn't want to put stress on myself, but I don't care what kind of car it is. I'm just creating a way to where I'm always creating, so where it's not a burden. You have to create more, create more, create more. And once you have that kind of mindset, you can be like, okay, I want to be in W. You can start a business, and that'd be your business card. So you write that.
Yeah.
So you write that off on your taxes. But if you have a poor mindset, you can like, oh my goodness, it's $800. I want to put that on me. I'm not going to be able to pay it.
Yeah.
It's when you start thinking in that loss, you can always, oh, I'm not going to be able to pay it. They're going to repo it. It's going to mess up my credit, like all of that.
Yeah.
But when you think on creating, you can't think of none of that. Oh, I'm going to just make a stream of income.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel that.
I'm going to make a stream of income. But it's just basically like we was talking about. You got to give up the security. It's a risk in that, though. It's a risk being free. It's a risk, like you can't even, like most people can't even plan a off day. They chilling.
That's true. And that's another thing. That's another thing concept. And I'm not even going to sit here and act like I'm successful with all these things here. I just kind of got started with this mindset. But that's another concept I had to develop. You don't necessarily have a chill day. Not a whole day. Like maybe you can plan that at some point in the year. This was just me talking to myself. But even on my off day, I'm off from my main job, and then I'm making moves and making things happen. And it's funny because what gave me that mindset more was watching movies. Because I used to didn't watch a whole lot of movies and stuff growing up. But it's funny just watching a movie like Power and, the new Power. I'm looking at the dude, Tariq. I'm like, man, this dude going to school. He doing this illegal activity. He got a relationship. He doing it, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, this is just fantasy. But it's really not. It's like, that's possible. It's just the only time he sleep is when it's time to go to sleep. That's it. You know what I'm saying? And it ain't it's like he signed up for, and this is a lot of movies. It's like, after I say this, it might be hard to miss it in the movie. The main character does a lot of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, they do so much. You know what I'm saying? They do things all the time. Like, you barely ever see them sitting down just, like, getting some food or, you know what I'm saying, watching TV and then headed to the bathroom. And then, like, the movie is about them just going in. And it's like, that's successful people for you almost, it seemed like. I'm sure successful people take a break. But it's like, that's something I had to think about. Like, man, if I ain't where I want to be yet, then I'm going to have to go ahead and just put in this work like it ain't no tomorrow.
But it's like you said, power.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of times we give up our power.
Yeah.
When you at work, I got a job too, but I'm doing other things. So, but when I'm at work, I'm giving up my power.
Yeah.
When you can either be employed or you can be deployed. I'm gathering up my resources to deploy myself. And a lot of us just...
What? My bad.
What am I saying?
Yeah, say it again.
Okay, I'm saying I'm gathering up my resources to deploy myself. I have a mission.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I deploy myself.
Yeah.
Every day, and it pays me.
Yeah.
But if I don't have a mission, I look for employment.
Yeah. Okay, I get what you're saying.
You don't got nothing to do.
Right.
But at the same time, you don't want to be wasting your time all day. So you look to help somebody else. Like, hey, if you can, I can help this person for a couple of nickels and pennies.
Yeah.
It's basically saying, hey, you basically going into your job and you saying, hey, if you help me pay my rent and get a little bit, I'll give you my life.
Yeah.
That's
But and it's funny because I had this conversation so much that I was just talking to somebody about this conversation, and I was telling them about how much I had this conversation because I work a whole lot. It's like, and I take like it's been times I quit my job to go in on my own thing, and it's like it seemed like it didn't happen the way I wanted to, so I went back to work. Just like you just said, you don't want to be. I don't know if it is. I don't want to be too broke or I'm comfortable, but I will at least try to fall back from that job and then try to do my own thing. But it's when my pockets is getting a certain way, I'm like, all right, let me hop back on this job right quick. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like we got to change our words. Like, try is to make an effort. I feel like we got to will. You got to will yourself. You can't try no more. You just got to will it. Like, it even change your whole sentence structure. Like, you coming today, bro? You can say, I'll try, or I'm going to will myself to come up today. It change your whole sentence structure. When you take want away and change and keep it with will. You want some candy? I will eat some candy. So it's different because it's internal power you coming from.
Yeah.
I think when you try, you just giving yourself license not to do it. Because you don't have to succeed when you try.
But you have to succeed when you will?
I mean, yeah, it's a matter of time. It's a will.
I guess.
You can build that.
Yeah, okay.
And eventually you can win.
Yeah.
It's a matter of time. It's a test of wills.
Test of the will.
If
okay. Yeah,
I mean, it can show you where your will is.
Yeah.
Like you can run through this wall.
I'll try.
You'll try. But if you willed yourself through the wall, you go get your jackhammer.
No, but what if you try with a jackhammer?
You find something else.
What if you ever said I'll try and then you succeeded it anyway?
I mean, you wasn't trying. You was willing yourself. You used the wrong word.
Okay, I was just trying to find out a way to make this hard for you.
You just used the wrong word.
Nah, I know. I get what you're saying. I was just trying to
when you actually willing yourself, it don't matter what words you use. But when you really don't want to do something, it matters what words you use.
Yeah, that's true. Nah, that's real, man.
You know, you ain't gotta. You trying to get some sex, you ain't gotta. It don't matter what you say.
Yeah. You gonna try to. I mean, you
just gonna do it. You ain't even gonna try.
Right. You gonna be willing to do it.
Right.
All of a sudden, when it comes to something
abstinence, I'll try it.
Yeah. When it comes to something that somebody want for real, they willing to do it and they gonna do it. I believe even the minister said that before. He was saying how we gotta stop saying I don't. Wait a minute. How you say it? I want to say it right. He said we got to stop saying how we can't do something and say that we're not willing to do it.
Pretty much.
Yeah, because it's a lot more. We going ahead and keeping it real and putting it out there. That's what.
Not wasting your time.
Yeah, that's my observation on it. It's like you're not you're not wasting your time. You know what I'm saying?
Holding up that mental space.
Yeah, you just put it out there. I'm not willing to do it.
You won't have to think about it no more. You ain't got to think about no lie to tell nobody.
That's real.
I'm not willing.
It's funny because I was thinking about the saying, meet and overcome every obstacle. Is what a FOI would do. Is meet and overcome every obstacle. It's meet and overcome, right? Mm-hmm. So it's something that it says meet it. You know what I'm saying? Because some people don't never address the obstacle. They just try to overcome the obstacle. But they never actually said, look, man, I got a problem, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, this is an issue. I know some people that almost be willing to say it's not an issue because I'm you know what I'm saying, I'm trying to overcome it, so I ain't even going to act like something is an issue. It's not an issue. It's not there. The wall isn't there. You know what I'm saying? But you got to be able to meet it. Like, you know what? It's a wall there. And for this wall, I'm gonna need a jackhammer. I'm gonna need a sludge hammer. I might need even a crew, but I'm meeting it. This is the problem. You know what I'm saying? Just going ahead and stating what it is. And that's the power of going ahead and say, you know, knowing when you are willing and when you're not willing to do something is being able to meet the thing that you're talking about and keeping it real and being honest with yourself about it. You know.
And being honest enough to say I can't do it and going to get help.
Yeah.
Because some things, like I was just talking about earlier, it's like I was just talking earlier, I was saying that I wanted to do a podcast, but I kept trying to fix up the room, trying to get the environment, and then I'm like, I'm not about to do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's too much work for me. Not that it's too much work, I'm just not willing to do it.
Yeah. I know what you mean.
But
yeah,
because I wasn't honest, it took so long.
Yeah.
But had I just been straight honest, I could have been found a place.
Right.
So I found a place where it looked legit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's cool.
Yeah, that's funny because you can get lost in the
struggle.
In the struggle, in the process, trying to accomplish what you was doing. You didn't say that you wanted to have a podcast studio inside of your house. You said you wanted to do a podcast.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like you can kind of get lost in the, you know, you got to come to somebody that made that their mission already. It's like, okay, that's cool. Good. You know what I'm saying?
You got to know your own limitations.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's nothing wrong with that. Some stuff I can't do.
Right.
Hire somebody else.
Yep. Man.
One of the things of this year for me is hire your weaknesses.
You said what?
Hire your weaknesses. If you suck at it, hire somebody to do it.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, yeah.
Don't waste time. If I can't cook, I'm getting meal prep.
Yep. Yeah.
You know,
that's real.
If I want to stay under my caloric, I'm getting Jenny Craig.
Yeah. That's real.
It's not something I can do.
Yeah. It's something that you trying.
And it's not working.
It ain't working.
Hire your weaknesses.
It's real. You got to keep it moving. Yep.
But if you stay struggling.
Yeah.
Oh, I tried so much. Like, you can't do it. If you can't make a good decision, go see a therapist. If you can't make a good decision, get under somebody else's guidance.
Right.
I can't do it. Be like, yo, come go to your homeboy. Look, I just cannot leave this chick. What do I do? What do I do?
Yeah. Yeah.
And hold me accountable.
Right.
Because I don't want to have this conversation 8 more times. And then make you not want to be friends with me because you not doing what you said you was going to do.
Oh, yeah. Man. Shoot, man. That's real, man. It's knowing your limitations, knowing how to move, knowing how to make a decision, you know.
It's like we talked about that Biggie line, big, black, and ugly, however I stay coochie down to his size.
Yeah.
He knew it was ugly.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
So have to give me some coochie. I'm going to attract these women, though.
He said, however, yeah. Yeah, that's real. Like, he knew, you know, he met the obstacle and he overcame it. You know, he feel, you know, that he looked that way and it's like, okay, well, I got money. You know what I'm saying? I got money, so you know, I'm good, you know.
What was that, the thing you said that Pimp said?
I heard, he said, if you can't, this is how he said it. He said, if you have a problem with talking to the ladies, he said you need to pose with the right clothes and get chose with your mouth closed. There you go. Yeah, he said you need to pose with the right clothes and get chose with your mouth closed.
He knew his limitations.
Yeah. He was talking to people who, yeah.
Right.
You know.
You knew your limitations.
Yeah, that's a street dude for real, man. Like, I'm like, man. But
playing your part, though, oh my God, that's so important. Just staying in your lane.
Yeah, man, it's funny because I made a mixtape, me, Travis, and Jalil, a long time ago called Mind Your Biz. And in that mixtape, we was talking about how important it is not not asking somebody to, you know, not necessarily look at what I'm doing, but mind your own biz. Like know what you supposed to be doing. And always be concerned about what you supposed to be doing, because it's so easy to get distracted in this world. You will, you know what I'm saying, you will get out here and you will be living a life that don't even got nothing to do with necessarily what you want to be doing. That's what the whole rat race is all about. It's like, that's what I was saying earlier. If you working all day and night,
you can't make no money.
Yeah, and all you doing is you got a place to live, you got some food, you got clothes. That's the same thing as a slave. They worked all day in the sun, then they went to their thing, they went to sleep. Now, we got it a lot more lavishly, but it's no actual place that we're going. You know what I'm saying? It's just, man, you know, when that person passed, you know, we're going to be able to go to their closet and be like, man, he stayed fresh, dog. You know what I'm saying? But that's about where it's going to stop at. It's like, man, that is it, man. But in the clothes will be outdated. You know? Yeah, man.
But that's why I was saying it's about creation.
Yeah.
And you just got to have different streams of income.
That's real.
And not just one. Because the thing about it is nobody going to pay you what you want them to pay you but you.
Yeah.
But you don't got no money right now. So what do? You bargain with your time. You trade time for money.
Yeah.
And you don't get time back. So you literally trading like a whole day yourself for $100. Like, what could you have? Like, you could have made $100 by yourself if you took the risk, traded, gave up that security for freedom. But the catch is, like, you got to get your own self up. You know, you ain't gonna. If you're a loser, you're a loser. You know, ain't nobody gonna say nothing to you though. You're not gonna get fired. You're just gonna be under the bridge.
Right. Yeah, man.
But a lot of people can't take that.
That's when reality
pressure
hit, man.
I mean, people stay under, but people stay under the bridge though.
Yeah.
Like, people still on that corner, holding up that sign.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to stay there, but you can.
I know. Man, I know. I hope this ain't too much off subject, but I know a dude that makes so much money on that corner, man.
Yeah.
He said he make at least $200 a day.
But I think he a good salesman.
Yeah,
it's work.
Now I know, but what you think he's selling?
He's selling the image of him being broke, and people buying.
Yeah, that's true.
And that's work though.
Yeah,
that's 8 hours, 10 hours.
Yeah,
if you make $200 a day, tax free.
Yeah, he said at least 200, at least
tax free.
Yeah, he was mad because I was even near his corner. You know, I'm trying to sell papers and stuff, and he was just mad that I was even over there because he like, man, listen, bro.
So much money on his corner.
Yeah, he like, I'm going to keep it real with you. You kind of blocking my way. I'm like, man. So I told him, I was like, what about I'm going to give you like $10. He like, I make at least $200 on this corner. I was like.
You pay him $200 to leave?
Nah, I just kept doing what I was doing. I was like, because I actually was kind of disappointed in him when he said that. Because I didn't know they made that. I'm like, bro, I'm not going nowhere, dude.
All right, we're about to, we got like 30 more seconds.
Yeah.
Any closing thoughts?
Dang, I ain't got nothing.
Mine is make the best decision you can make. Make a decision and own it. And just run with it.
Yeah.
Don't look back. Plan B is abortion. Plan B is abortion.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Stay on plan. Stay on plan A. Stay on plan A. All right.
Okay.
The student enrollment.
Don't get an abortion. Don't
right.
do it.
This student enrollment. This your host Khalif.
DeMarcus.
All right. Peace.
Make a move, make it matter. Yeah. Forget the rest.
How y'all feeling that?
You're rocking with the best radio station on the planet. SDM Live Unplugged.